Hello there, good to see you again. Welcome to the Edessa Let's Play series. So in the previous episode, we had successfully failed after landing on the moon, and we rescued our stranded Kerbonaut, Valentina Kerman, who was stuck in moon orbit. So we built a custom spaceship to go get up, and we managed it. And since then we've landed and we've gotten about 667 units of science. So what we can do now is first we're going to go shopping. We're going to get some pretty cool spiffy new tech. And then we're going to attempt to either go back to the moon or create a create some kind of comm network. Because remember, in our settings we said that we don't have extra ground stations, which means as soon as we send an automated probe into orbit, it will go dark as soon as it gets to the far side of the planet. So what we'll need is we'll need some antennae, and we will need some bigger rockets, perhaps. Let's have a look. So this one gives us some fuel tanks, some more fuel tanks, and of course it gives us the external fuel duct. Remember, this is the fuel line. This is really important if you want to do asparagus staging. So yes, we'll definitely get that. Propulsion systems. This gives us some tiny engines, which is cool, but we don't really need that at this point. Some bigger engines. That's cool. We will have that. And we can't seem to unlock heavier rocketry. Oh, it looks like we're going to have to upgrade our research and development facility. So for a cool 451,000 credits, which is just over half of what we have in our budget, we get to unlock the next stages of technologies. So I'm not particularly interested in these. However, we have to unlock both of these to get to nuclear propulsion. But before we get there, let's have a look at what we get here. This is, yes, these are the heavy lifting engines. Really useful stuff, but I'm not really sure we want to go for that just yet. Let's have a look. I'm still looking for the antennae, some kind of comms arrays, something. Yeah, here we go. A relay antenna. We really want one of those. Okay. So this costs, what does this cost? 160 science, and what's this, miniaturization, which gives us some docking ports, which is cool. Stack separator, that's fine. Or battery and an octo. Okay, we might end up going for both, but first I'm just going to unlock this relay antenna. Next we have the bigger relay antenna, and this will cost 300 science, and we don't have that much. That's fine. Let's have a look. Where is our science laboratory? Where is our science lab? There we go. So that will cost 160 science, and it looks like we're not going to be able to unlock it today. That's fine. We'll always make some more science and get it at another time. So what else we have? We have advanced electrics, which gives us solar panels, so we'll have that. What else? We have 77 science, so we cannot actually afford anything else. Okay, that's fine. We have some crucial equipment. Let's see if we can upgrade our rocket again. So we'll make our rocket try to finally do some asparagusing. So let's load her up. So, Moon Lander or Moon Rescue? Let's open up Moon Rescue. So, I'm not particularly a big fan of this second stage. It does not, I mean, unless if we can put it right into orbit and then burn in orbit, that'd be fine. But otherwise, it's a little bit too heavy. Let's get rid of this intermediate capsule. We don't need it anymore. We are going to need the stack separator, or stack decoupler, I should say. So like that. Now let's have a look at the thrust that these things produce. So the Reliant will produce 240 kilonewtons of thrust, but that tends to vary based on whether it's in the atmosphere or not. So in the atmosphere it will only put out 205 kilonewtons. Okay, so at a rough gravitational acceleration of about 10, that will give us, well, this can't be right. That will give us about 20 tons that we can carry with it. I don't think I'm calculating this right. 200. Okay. Yeah, I think my math is off at the moment. So let's get rid of this one, and we'll just reroute from here to there. Get rid of that. So our thrust to weight with this much fuel is 2.44, and this weighs 4.5 tons. Okay, and this weighs 2.25 tons. So if I take this off, I take that off, duplicate that. So the Reliant, hang on, let me just switch to atmospheric. So the Reliant has 1.76 thrust to weight on this. Okay. Add another fuel tank there. Let's see what we have to do to achieve 1 thrust to weight. So that's 4.5 tons, 9 tons. That's 13.5 tons. Another one should do it. Okay, so that gives us a full 1 thrust to weight in atmosphere. So that is 18 tons. 18 tons for 205 kilonewtons. Okay, that is a significant amount of weight for this Reliant to be able to carry. That is really, really cool. Okay, so I'm just going to drop this off, put that in there. Okay, and copy that. So now that is going to be one of our boosters. Okay, let me just get rid of these. Oops. There we go. It was pre-rotated. So if I put that on there. Okay, let me just rotate this one. There we go. So if I now fire the engines all at once, we'll have a thrust to weight of 1.39. That is cool. Okay, so let us now add some nose cones. There we go, and then some fins, and of course some inner fins as well. Okay, so this single bit by itself will give us a delta V of just under 4,000 delta V, which is really, really cool. So this will then fire in the second stage. So the second stage, where is it? So the second stage will fire up. What is going on here? Okay. So these are the engines. That is the bottom stage. Okay, next stage is this guy. Okay. So after this separation. Oh jeez. Okay, let's try this one again. That's completely backwards. Okay. Let's reroute that. And reset. It's just not going to reset. Okay, fine. So, let's just rearrange our engines. So, this engine needs to fire off at the same time as these engines. Then these need to fire. This thing needs to happen last, just before our parachute. So decoupler parachute. This engine needs to fire after this one. So we'll throw that on there. Okay. And I think these two are backwards as well. Okay, so all of these will fire first, then these will decouple, then this will decouple, then this engine will fire, then this will decouple, this engine decouple. Okay. So this gives us a delta V, which is rather poor, of 5.2. Let me just turn off atmosphere. Okay, this gives us a delta V of 8,000. This is much, much better than what we had before. So let us just add in some structurals, just some reinforcement. So we'll throw some struts in there. Okay, so that will keep him from wobbling away. Good stuff. And let's just move this whole thing closer to the ground, like that. Throw in some hold-down clamps. There we go. Lovely. Okay, so these hold-down clamps will keep us from toppling over on the launch pad. Now, last but not least, we're going to make our true asparagus by making our side boosters feed the center core. So this will go in there. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, now let's make sure our clamps fire off at the same time as our engines. There we go. Okay, now do we have any technology for deployment, any kind of fairings? We do not, okay. This is going to be tricky because our antenna will not want to just be placed on the side like this. Although I suppose actually it would. Aerodynamically, I mean, it's ridiculous, but you know what? Let's attempt it. So let's see. We want to have some coupling. We don't have any coupling. Okay. These will do. Okay, and then we will want a battery, I suppose. Nope. Okay. What do we have? Ooh. Well, these will do. And then we can attach our battery. Oops. Okay, and then we'll need a core. Something like that. And then we'll need some kind of communication, so that's our relay. Like that. Okay. And last but not least, we will need a solar panel. So a solar panel, just one of these cheap ones. Put them underneath, just so they don't burn out on the way up. What would that look like? Let me see. Extend. Ah, perfect. Okay. Well, it's extremely unorthodox, but it'll definitely do the job. I mean, honestly, atmospherically speaking, it's not very efficient, but we will simply brute force our way through the atmosphere until we're out of there, okay? So, another thing, I want to turn off roll for our stabilizers, because, I want to turn them off here, but I want to leave them on here. Okay. Just so these don't really actuate a great deal for spinning the rocket. I think that should do. We have a delta V of 8,400, and with atmospheric enabled, that drops it to just under 6,000. So I don't know. I mean, this may work. This may well work. So let's find out. So let's just check our staging. Always check your staging. So these decouplers or stability enhancers will decouple first, then the engines, then our asparagus will happen, and then the radial decouplers will happen. Okay, that's not right. We want to disable staging for this, right? Because we want to be able to decouple those manually. Okay, so these will happen, that will detach, this will fire, then this will fire. Sorry, this will happen. This will detach, then this will decouple, and then we'll come home. Okay. Okay. This may well flip over because the amount of drag coming from this could be just astoundingly ridiculous. But we'll find out. We'll see what happens. So, not Mun Rescue, we'll just call this one a comms delivery. Yeah. Good. Good. Who's going to be our brave pilot? Shall it be Jeb or shall it be Valentina? You know what? Let's put Jeb up there. And let's see what he can achieve. So we will try for a polar orbit. Try to create a polar orbit just so we can... you know what? I haven't really got a particularly good reason for it. I just feel as though a comms array in polar orbit would be better than rotational orbit. So, okay. We will do that. We'll save that. Just a quick double check of the staging. That looks good to me. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Okay, how are we looking stability-wise? A little bit of a wobble there. But it looks like it's going to stay intact. This is cool. Okay, excellent. Now let's see how this thing flies. Let's throttle up. And so let me just do a quick rehearsal. So we will pitch down towards north as we go up, right? Okay. That's 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Just start to gimbal down. There we go. Very tricky. A little bit spinny. Very, very tricky to control. Come on. Okay. Very tricky to control. Very squirrely. Gaining speed, but very slowly now. What is going on? Why are we spinning? Okay. Okay, this seems to be a problem with our input, so I'm just gonna manually fly it. Okay. A little bit wobbly. That's okay, if I can just keep it at 45 degrees. Okay, burning through our first stage still, we're doing well. 15 kilometers up, we're through most of the atmosphere now. Okay. 45 degrees, about to hit 20 kilometers. Mach 2, Mach 2.5, about to get engine cut out of first stage, and we're about to asparagus. Asparagus, successful detachment, gimbaling down. Lovely, and just as planned, we now have a full tank of our center core. Go gimbaling down, trying to get that orbital speed to happen now. Hitting 990 meters per second, apoapsis of 73 kilometers. We're going to try to go for a pretty high apoapsis. I'm thinking maybe 200 kilometers. We'll see what our delta V has to say about that. Okay, still having to hold the stick far to the right. It seems to have been a problem with our input. So it seems we have a whole lot of trim to the left, which is causing unnecessary rolls. So I'm just holding the stick the whole way. Okay. I'm gonna gimbal all the way down to 90 degrees now. We're leaving the atmosphere. There we go. Yeah, I'm having to just manually fly this thing most of the way now. Simply because as soon as I let go, it starts to rotate to the left. So I'm guessing this is an input binding. I'm going to have to quit the game and come back and recalibrate my joystick and then come back. But at the moment, we're looking good. This is fine. I mean, it's hurting my arm, but this is fine. Okay, pushing that apoapsis. Still plenty of delta V. We're reaching for 1600 meters per second. We need about 2200 for orbital speed. Just trying to keep it level at the moment. It's fighting me a little bit. Okay. Nearly there. Preparing for first stage center core shutout. Or cutout, I should say. Pushing that apoapsis to 91 degrees. Almost spent off that center core. Okay, we have engine cut out. So we're going to stage. Okay. Oops. I've ended up drifting. There we go. Come on. Okay. And we'll fire up our second stage. There we go. 2100 meters per second delta, our velocity. We are now approaching orbital speed. As you can see, our camera has just shifted automatically. So we are now pushing our apoapsis height out to 350 kilometers. And now as soon as I let go of my stick, it all starts to roll out of control. Okay. I'm just going to yank my joystick out. Just going to modify the trim. Okay, looks like that did it. Just by adjusting the trim, I've been able to get it to stabilize. Just gonna plug in my joystick and see if that still works. Okay. Okay, that's looking good. Good, so just using trim has been able to stabilize it. That's good. That is very good. So, now we're going to circularize, and then we're going to deploy one of our satellites, and we're going to slow down or speed up again, and we're going to unload another one, and so on. So what we want to do is we want to get them to be roughly equidistant along our orbit. You know what? I'm not really liking how high this is. I want this to be even higher, so I'm just going to add a maneuver node. Push that apoapsis way out. I think that'll do. Okay, so that will be 540 meters per second to do that. Let's do that. It appears that our roll is happening because of our autopilot. Okay, so something is misbehaving at the moment. Whatever it is, I was just gonna have to keep SAS enabled for now. Okay, so let us fast forward. That is a near polar orbit. It's very close, but I don't think that'll matter anyway. Okay, let us have a look. So we have 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Okay, and let's throttle up. Let's have a look at this one. So that is right out 1,000 kilometers. Just over 2,000 kilometers. I like that one. Okay. Now we will need to circularize at the apoapsis. Okay, let's just pull that one back. Okay, that's close enough. Okay, let's go there. Good enough. Okay, there we go. Mostly aligned. Ah, good enough. Okay, let's fast forward. Okay, we're looking good. Let's throttle up. Okay, that should do. So, this is now our first drop off. So you will extend your solar panel. And you will, let's see, you will hibernate and warp. And now you will detach. And away it goes. So this is now a relay. It will bounce signals from Kerbin to wherever. This is really cool stuff. So that is our first node. So what I do now is we want to drop our orbit or raise our orbit, either way. And that way we will then get a slight phase shift between it and us. And that way ideally we want to have one here, one up here, one here, and one here in a continuous sort of identical orbit but at different phases. So that way we will never be obstructed by the planet. There will always be a bouncing signal to get there. Okay, I like that. So let us now accelerate, which counterintuitively will actually slow us down. No need to push it out too far, but we do have plenty of fuel in the tanks. There we go. Now, let's add a maneuver here, and we'll warp to that. Well, looks like we're low on power. I should have extended some panels. Gotta love that alarm. There we go. I will just extend all of them. Yeah, so usually you cannot do this if all you have is probe cores. That's why it's good to have a pilot on board at all times. But that fails. Always make sure you have your panels out and facing the sun. Okay. Alright, back to warping. Now, is this enough? Is this enough? No, it is not. Looks like I didn't quite push it out enough. We're at the... let me kill this. Okay, there's not enough of a phase difference here. This looks more like 70 degrees or something. So I might just leave it until the next... orbit. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're not getting a perfect 180 degree difference here, so I might just push our orbit out a little bit further just to adjust that phase difference. Okay, how have we done? That is looking like 90 degrees. It's still out by just a little bit, but no, that is looking pretty damn good. Okay, let's go for that. So we will now turn retrograde and slow ourselves down so that we are once again in the same orbit as our comms network. Okay, there we go. So that now, it's time to drop another probe. Okay, so you will hibernate and warp. I don't really want to be too lopsided, so I'm just going to drop the opposing side first. So I'm just going to tell all of them to hibernate and warp. But you are the lucky one. Let's go. Godspeed. Good luck. Okay, now let's try to do this a little bit smarter. So we are now at Ep.07, I think. So we have an orbital period. What is our orbital period? So time to Ep.07 is 1 hour, 1 minute, right? Time to periapsis is 3 hours and 4 minutes. Okay. So I'm guessing that means if I subtract that from this, then we have 2 hours and 20 minutes, which gives us a 4 hours and 40 minutes orbit, right? I think. Okay. I've turned my brain off, so it's on standby mode at the moment, so it's not really doing the math too hard. Either way, at the moment, if we have a 4-hour, 40-minute period, we're going to see if we can push our apoapsis out by 1 hour. That will give us a 45-degree phase difference. I'm guessing. I don't know. I haven't turned my brain on yet, but I'm going to try. Okay, I'm going to try to give it, I don't know, that far. What is that? That is 3 hours and 8 minutes. So I've given it 2 hours. That should technically give us a 180-degree phase difference. Let's see if that's true. Will we come back on the opposite side of our probe? We will not. I don't think we will. Oh no, we will. Look at that. That is just about. Okay. Okay, very slowly rotating towards retrograde now. Okay, and throttle up. There we go. Time to dump another probe. There we go. Yep, get out of here. Good luck. Alrighty. And now, last but not least, gotta rotate prograde again and see if we can do an accurate phase shift this time. So this guy is, we don't have a time on him. Okay. So it is 1 hour 6 minutes to apoapsis. Okay. And 3 hours and 9 minutes to periapsis. We're roughly between them, right? So if it's 1 hour 6 to 3 hour 9, that gives us a 2 hour and 3 minute orbital period. So from here to here is 2 hour and 3, which gives us 4 hours and 6 for a full orbital. Okay. So 4 hours and 6, right? So if we now extend our periapsis to be, instead of 1 hour and 5, we want it to be, well, first it's going to be 2 hours right away. We want to extend that to be 3 hours. And that should give us a 45-degree difference. And we've just run out of fuel. We have just run out of fuel. Okay. Oh well, that's quite alright. We can just stage a little bit of space junk, I suppose. But yeah, we are completely out. That's fine. Goodbye. There we go. And we'll just stage this engine. Engine's alive. Good. Okay. Now let's fast forward. Okay, as you can see, we're already starting to get some bounces of the signal, which is really good stuff. Looks like... How are we going to do? Are we going to land right in the right spot? Or are we going to be between? We're going to be between spots, okay. That's right, we'll just wait for another orbital and see where we end up. I mean, obviously I could have planned this out and I could have done some math on this, but at the moment I'm just not really feeling like doing that. Just want to see how we can eyeball it. Okay, coming in nice and close. How are we gonna do? Okay, so far we seem to have done a close flyby of every one of our probes, which is kind of cool. But we really just wanted to land in between them. Looks like it's just not gonna happen. Yeah, it looks like we're just harmonizing. We're oscillating between these two and this one. It's gonna give us a little bit more. Okay, let's see what that does. Okay, that is more like it. It looks like we're still going to be a little bit heavy on one side, but not on the other. Let's try one more orbit. You know what? I'm just going to circularize here and just have one probe higher up. Okay. There we go. Yeah, there's only so much you can eyeball, really. You end up wasting fuel, so... yeah, just a higher probe will give us a sort of oversight. Probably won't give us 100% coverage 100% of the time, but it'll be good enough. Okay, turn that prograde and throttle up. You can see it's bouncing the signal off of one probe, another probe, and then to us. So the comm network is already doing what it's supposed to do, which is really good stuff. Okay, and we are circularized. Okay, what kind of delta V do we have? We have quite a bit. We have 2,000 delta V. So, what I might do actually is just push this orbit way out. Just as far as it'll go, really. Let's do that. You know, the further out we can go, the better. Or the farther out we can go, the better. There we go. Come on. There we go. Okay, and throttle up. Let's see how far we can get away with. Good stuff. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. Let's see how far we can circularize. Do not want to collide with the moon, so we're going to try to push that a bit further out. Looks like we've just landed right in the moon's orbit, so we'll just try to push that out a little bit more. Okay. Okay, and then at the apoapsis we'll try to circularize this. Oh dear, this is all being done by eyeball. It's imperfect, but so far so good. We'll see if we have enough fuel to get home after all this. Okay. How are we doing? That is out to 15,000 kilometers. Good, that is outside of the moon's orbit. And it's in polar orbit of Kerbin, so that should give us a nice, tall coverage. That will do. Okay, what am I doing? I'm trying to zoom in. Okay, let us deposit our last probe, and let's go home, Jeb. So you will hibernate and warp, and you will decouple. Good speed. Very well. Okay, Jeb, you want to get out and do some science? Yes, you do. Okay, as soon as we turn off SAS, we have a very hard roll to the left. Okay, this is definitely a glitch in the game, because that craft was uninhabited when it started to roll. Jeb, you're going to be stuck inside for the rest of the trip. Let's go home. Okay, just killing that velocity now. Still have plenty left in the tank, but I don't really want to take any chances, so I'm just taking us right back home again. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have enough fuel for this. Just dropping that periapsis down. Okay, let's have a look here. That will do. There you go, Jeb. That is a successful comm network delivery. Where's our planet? There's our planet. Let's warp to it. Okay. We're gonna hit that planet really, really hard. I certainly hope I didn't forget to put on our heat shield. Looks like our heat shield's still there. Okay, good. So 2 minutes to atmosphere. It's gonna burn... You know what? It's gonna jettison our engine fuel. We don't want to collide with it. Okay, here goes. Jeb, turn to retrograde. And good luck. Okay, we're hitting atmosphere. Jeb seems exceedingly happy with himself. We're going 3,200 meters per second, nearly 10,000 kilometers an hour. Looks like we're going through the Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights. There goes our booster. Hang in there, Jeb. 4.5 Gs. Still not the worst that Jeb has experienced thus far. 1900 meters per second, 25 kilometers altitude. We're doing well. 1600 meters per second. Dropping rapidly. Flying over the northern ice shelf. We are through the plasma layer. We are now at 3 times the speed of sound. We're no longer superheating the air as we're hitting it. 18 kilometers altitude. Flying over the northern ice shelf. We've just had a crew report, which is cool. Jeb seems content at the moment. And it is now safe to deploy chutes. Approaching the cloud layer at 10 kilometers. They're now in the cloud layer. 8.5 kilometers. Doing just over 600 kilometers an hour. Parachute's only partially deployed at this point. On through the bottom layer of the clouds now at 4 kilometers altitude. See the northern ice shelf just below us. Getting ready for full chute deployment. There we have the chute deploying and opening up for us. Beautiful. We're now doing 5 meters per second. That's about 15 kilometers an hour. Or just under 10 miles an hour. We are coming back from space today. Okay, let us time warp. "200 meters altitude, coming down. 100 meters. 40 meters. And we have touchdown. Excellent. All right, Jeb, you want to get out? There we go. Well done, Jeb. You have just landed on the North Pole. Let's place a flag. Okay, this site shall be called Jeb Northern Outpost. Here, the brave Jebediah Kerman first landed on the North Pole. Okay. Alright, Jeb, get back in your craft and let's get out of here. And there we have it. Okay, we've only been able to gather 36 science from that expedition, but we want to find out how our comms network is now looking. Okay, let us see. Okay, so our outermost relay is talking to the innermost relays, and all of them are talking to the ground station, which is looking good. It is looking very nice. If we now orbit for about a day, let's see how that behaves. Yeah, looks like we are not getting any blank spots. And we should see round the day coverage for the moon at least. We may still see some blackouts on Minmus, but our range will be greatly enlarged. This is not a perfectly symmetrical comms network, but for eyeballing it, I'm happy with it. This will do. Alrighty, we can now start planning our first unmanned missions, and perhaps some tourist missions as well. Alright, looks like our Kerbal Center is underwater again. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you in the next one.